Welcome back to another episode of Trail Talk. Today we are kind of in our pseudo field garage here. Once again, we're doing another quote-unquote install. We don't do real installs, Eric. But we're going to be adding on to our general. Last episode you saw we did some really cool modifications to the YouTube ATV. Here today, well, I'm in the back of the vehicle because the thing we're doing is going to go back here. We're about to show it. You've already probably actually seen it in the thumbnail, though. But we have the YouTube General in all its glory. We have some things, though, that we still want to do to the vehicle because, Eric, there's some more videos down the road that will need us to have a little bit more storage capabilities, some other stuff going on. So we have the rear rack. Come over here, too, because there's more of it. It's all over the place. It's not actually together, so that's part of the fun. We get to put it all together. We got the lock and ride, doot, 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 all this stuff. Just know that all of the modifications that we have done, you don't need to do any of them, right? The challenge series that we just finished, which if you just found this video from a totally different way, go back and watch the challenge series. It was so fun. All of the machines were generally stock in that video. The two power sports vehicles at least, and they crushed it, right? All of the vehicles, they're good to go straight out of the box, straight from the factory. You really don't need to do anything more. But if you want to have some more maybe protection in certain areas, if you want to carry more stuff, make this more like able to be organized or capable of holding different things, what can you do, Eric?
You can get some accessories.
You can get some accessories. So, back to the subject. Today, we have the rear rack. If you want to come in here just for a moment, Eric, this thing is so cool. All of the grid, I'm going to call it, it's almost like the old military technology MOLLE, if you've seen it, like the weave through and snap it together. It can accept that, actually, but it's kind of built like in that realm of design theory. So look at grid on that side, grid here, the whole back plate. Eric, there's grid everywhere. So you can use a ton of different aftermarket and Polaris accessories to attach things to this. We'll talk more about it. Vehicles with this rack look so good, Eric.
They do.
So I'm super excited. We're going to put this together in the same way we did the last video. This is not an install. Don't use this as how you should install the whole accessory, right? Firstly, we're not in a garage. We're in a pavilion because this is how Eric and I roll, I guess. We don't have a full garage of tools, but if you recall from the what tools do you need to carry in the off-road video, maybe we'll link that here in the upper corner, right? Sure. Okay, safety gear equipped. First step is we need to attach these uprights to what is effectively the top deck of the rack. So instead of how younger Evan would have tried to lift this and attach this with like a really horrible lean-to scenario, we're going to flip this and install it this way. So we're putting these guys, and here's going to be the game this episode. The last episode I installed one part about 3 incorrect ways before I installed it the correct way. I'm trying to make sure while I'm upside down that I am actually installing this the correct way. And Eric should we say you're not allowed to help me again?
I didn't do much help last time though either, to be fair.
Before I lose my directions, I'm going to pin them with a lock and ride thing. Okay, so in the instructions it says don't get, too tight on all of the different things until it's all together. Also, the same advice every dad is probably given, every son or daughter. So doing just a loose fit on all this. There's so much Loctite from look at this. Have you ever seen, you know how they usually have the blue dot, the disrespectful, not enough Loctite blue dot? Generous. Next step, we have these loose fitted. This one's a little looser. So we can still have play forwards and backwards, side to side. I'm now going to flip this over. Awesome thing about this rack which, why did we put this? I can't get close to it. Is that it is actually so light, which you want because, again, and we mentioned this last episode, if you are adding accessories to your machine, you want to make sure that you know the weight rating, again, for your vehicle. So check the owner's manual. So the next step is putting the backer. So this is basically like the rear of the vehicle, and that's the front of the vehicle. So this is the back plate is going here, and it is supposed to align, oh goodness, on these tabs. You gotta work them together. Beauty. Those tabs align, and then we're actually going to be putting these huge bolts, let me just pull it back a little, through here, Eric.
Oh yeah.
Right, fish through. And this is what's gonna connect this into and kind of create another shear plane / plate for the rack itself. So let me get this all lined up. You don't need to watch all that. And then I'm gonna get these loose fit tightened, and we're gonna move on to the next step. We got the back plate on. We have things tightened. So the uprights onto the top deck are tight. The back plate, which tightens up against the uprights this way, is now tight. It does take, so like the tolerance on this for final assembly is like perfect, Eric.
Okay.
Meaning the alignment, so gosh, can you even, maybe if you come from this side, the bed of a General is a little bit angled, okay?
Tapers?
Yes.
Okay.
So these pieces,
See if I can get that.
I'm saying it comes like way exaggerated this way. It's not that much, but
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
a little bit here.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is the place that these long screws come through the back, they're at an angle versus being like straight, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it takes, to make them loose, essentially, like loose fit them, you have to almost fully tighten one so it is in the perfect alignment here so that this one then can go in. Otherwise, both of the screws are like this, and they won't line up.
That's a good tip.
So make sure you do one side all the way in, and it will better line this up. I was dinking around with it too much, and I was like, then I realized they were tapered, so that is the tip for that. Next step is we need to final assemble some of the loose bolts here that just are holding some of the tabs together. So we got some loose ones here. This whole back screen, these need just some final tightening. And then you'll notice here too, we added, there's bumpers. So again, this is forward on the vehicle.
The glass.
This is rearward. So yes, the glass here, it has bumpers, which is awesome, so that you can run this slammed up in the furthest lock and ride hole and not have to worry about whatever's behind it. So I'm gonna final tighten this stuff. And then, Eric, we have these guys.
Oh boy.
These are going to end up going, see these slots here?
Okay, yeah.
These are gonna end up going in here so that then the entire rack can sit inside lock and ride. And you could actually be like,
What's lock and ride? People that don't know, what does that mean?
oh, okay, so we've explained it in an earlier episode. Basically, it is, see all these holes?
Yeah.
Hole, 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 all across the back. There's a lot of different configurations. A lot of accessories come with these cam pins that are attached to maybe a rack or a storage box or something. And they, as you'll see, we'll have 4 of them on each corner. They'll go into 4 holes and down here. And then you cam this over. Actually, this is the loose position, so you'll cam it over, and it literally locks inside this hole,
Okay.
which is so cool. Basically, as you cam it over, once it's installed, it'll be proper. It expands.
It's like an anchor.
Yes.
Okay.
It's super cool. And then you could be like, hey, I don't need that rack or the weight maybe for this trail ride, so I'm gonna get rid of it and have a lighter vehicle.
Quick and easy.
Super easy, it makes everything modular. It gives you the ability to change your loadout and prepare differently for different adventures. So we are going to, we got it all tightened up here. I'm gonna turn this because we're now going to disassemble each of these, Eric.
The lock and ride cam.
the lock and ride cams because we need to get, and I need a washer, we need this guy on top of this plate. So I'm going to just simply, yep. So that whole thing goes up. Just like so. And then we reassemble it. If you want to come over here. All of this just plastic anchorness.
All that straightness, yeah.
All goes through. Then we tighten it back down. These are also adjustable. So the amount that you tighten this end screw is basically how you determine how, to see how loose this is, right?
Yes.
Barely anything. This end screw determines how tight or how much anchoring, if you will, the lock and ride does. So we're gonna get these all installed, and then we're going to do final tweaks and fit it on the machine. Final step, we have all these installed. It's actually cool, these are all in slots. So as we get it to the machine, if you look under here, in the unlocked position, which is here, this is locked. Can you see this?
Yep.
And then this is unlocked. When they're unlocked, there's enough lack of tension that you can literally dial these in as you put it on the vehicle.
Oh, cool.
So the rack will literally like align itself. All of these, right? Boom, boom. So I'm now going to fireman's carry this
I'm gonna watch.
over to the vehicle. I'm aiming for the set of holes that is closest to where the back panel would be. I think this is gonna be the best way. And then we come over here. Boom. I'm just getting it in place. This is obviously not correct. This is actually a really close fit, so as we get down, it all fits perfectly. Just guiding these in. This is good. So I'm just making sure, I'm just looking, basically forgot to close this. What I'm trying to do is, there's these lips that come down a bit, and I'm just trying to align them perfectly along this ridge. You see how this one's kind of down a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, now engaging that one. Engaging that one. Boom, and then spin in just to get them out of the way.
Yeah, you don't want those snagging on stuff.
Snag free. Wait, can I even put it this way? No. You could put it a little inboard even, just to give it a little inward, inward tilt.
That looks so good.
That looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And check this out. Firstly, obviously, tailgate, totally operational, as it should be. Look at the space under here. So I believe this is designed to perfectly fit, I think, our cooler, I think Yeti, other coolers, whatever you got. Whatever cooler you have, this space will fit it. So you could still ratchet strap in there. Kind of retains it almost in a way. You still wouldn't want it loose, but you have this entire upper section with this like lip kind of around. You can tie down on all of this. A ratchet strap could hook in any one of these. If you have, remember this grid system, if you have, I don't know if you're familiar, Eric, but like roto packs.
Okay.
They have like tool, like pods. Okay. They're big like tanks. They do fuel tanks, but you wouldn't put fuel tanks on here. You could put a water tank on the side over here. You could put a tool tank.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
But it's like a container versus a tank, but in the shape of a tank.
Yeah.
It's
Like a canteen or.
yeah. You could put traction boards on here.
Yeah.
So there's all these companies that make basically modular ways that you can use this grid kind of MOLLE laser cut system and attach whatever you want. My personal way that I kind of want to use it is slide my huge tool bag in the long way, put a cooler in the long way, maybe like a fridge in the future, could you imagine?
Oh,
You can put lighter stuff, lighter camping gear or something up top, so you're not really affecting CG again, but such an easy strap or tie down point. And then the coolest thing is, check this out, Eric.
oh, nice. It stays on when you can dump the box.
It rained while we were out here. But look at this. That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
You could still have firewood in here if you needed to dump that out. You could do whatever you needed.
That's cool.
I love how easy these latches just release everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And like
on a damper.
I know you have there's glass ordered back here, but it even serves like nothing's gonna come flying inward or anything like that. If you have anything back there, it's like a headache rack kind of a deal.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, kind of just like the headache rack. Everything blocked off. Once again here, if you, gosh, I don't even know if you can get in here. The bumpers, can you see the clearance?
Get in there.
So there would be a glass panel between these points.
Yeah.
And so this would be protecting the glass and giving it still has clearance, but if it was to flex or whatever, bend through movement on the trail, the bumper would be protecting the glass. So I'm so excited for this rack. The profile of having that rack on, if you stay there, just fills this in so nicely, Instead of being like a pickup truck style, it turns it into like this rear adventure rig like vibe.
Yeah, I like it.
I love this thing. I can't wait to use it. You guys are gonna see this in a lot more videos. Well, because this is the YouTube general. Can't wait to get this thing going. Tell us what adventures you want us to go on. Nobody's told us in the comments what you want to see. So that means like Eric and I are deciding what we want to see.
We get what we want sometimes.
Yeah, we're getting what we want currently, but we want you guys and girls to be involved. So let us know what you want to see this thing do in the future. What other accessories would you like to see on the channel? But most of all, keep in mind, as cool as this whole machine is, and how freaking cool this rack is, they are not that cool when they sit in the garage and they don't do anything, and guess what? Why'd you buy it then, right? Don't let it just sit in the garage. Go out and please ride, and of course, come on back for the next episode of Trail Talk. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.